Ah, there you are, back again, John Augustine. A little hymn, the Johnny Cash one. Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when they nailed him to the cross? Were you there when they nailed him to the cross? Sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they nailed him to the cross? Were you there when they took him down from the cross? Were you there when they took him down from the cross? Sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they took him down from the cross? Were you there when they laid him in the tomb? Were you there when they laid him in the tomb? Sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they laid him in the tomb? Were you there when the stone was rolled away? Were you there when the stone was rolled away? Sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when the stone was rolled away? The soldiers were there, guarding it. In case the apostles come and took Jesus away, made out he wasn't dead. Wasn't there sharp old yokes, the Caiaphas and the old chronologies. But the angels on Easter Sunday morning, a noise come from heaven. That stone was put away. The soldiers got a terrible fright with the noise and the miracle. They didn't move the stone. Big stone behind a big rock. They went white as a sheet and ran like jackrabbits. And Caiaphas said, "What happened? What's wrong with you?" And they said, "What happened?" But they took the 30 pieces of silver. Keep quiet, says Caiaphas. This is what evil people do, isn't it? Yeah. They try to destroy good people, don't they? They wouldn't know truth if it hit them in the face. And Jesus rose from the dead. Mary Magdalene on that morning, a couple of other ladies were going to anoint Jesus. And they said to themselves, they said, "Wonder how that we'll remove that big rock. We won't be able to do it. Have to get somebody." But they saw that the rock was gone, the rock was moved away. I wonder who moved it. So Mary went into the tomb. No sign of Jesus. She came out crying, "Where to put him? So as we can go and get him and bring him back." And the man that looked to be a gardener was Jesus. He said, "Mary, Mary, don't be crying." She got a fright. Oh, she was delighted. And Jesus said to her, "Go and tell the apostles." And in the meantime, two men was walking from Jerusalem back to Emmaus, where they lived 6 miles away, which is a bit of a distance walking. And they were down in the dumps. And a stranger joined him, and he says, "What are you looking so glum for?" And they said, "Yeah, you're the only one that doesn't know what happened. Go ahead, what happened?" says the stranger. "Jesus, our Saviour, we were delighted with him going around. He's crucified. We don't know what we're going to do now." So the stranger walked with him and gave him the scriptures and all the rest of it. And their glumness improved, and suddenly they weren't exactly whistling, but a bit of joy came into their life. That's what, and it was getting dark, and the stranger was going to go on. He said, "Look, don't be going out this hour of the night. Come back with us and have us a bite to eat and stay the night and continue your journey in the morning." "All right," says the stranger. I'll go with you." And up he went to the room, And at the breaking of the bread, they recognised Jesus. The eyes backed out, and Jesus disappeared. What do you make of that? Says they, one to the other. Wouldn't we, our hearts beat with the joy of when this man was talking to Jesus? Well, we'll go back and tell the apostles that back they went to Jerusalem up and told the apostles the great event. Did the apostles believe them? I'm afraid they didn't, and they didn't believe Mary Magdalene either. So when Jesus appeared again to them, he gave out to them. And he showed them the wounds and pricked in his hands. And guess what happened then? Thomas wouldn't believe unless he could touch the wounds. And when Jesus appeared again, he said, Thomas, here, put your hands here. And Thomas did what our Saviour asked him and fell to his knees, saying, My Lord, my God, ashamed of his unbelief. And Jesus looked at him. You believe, Thomas, because you've seen. Blessed are those that haven't seen yet, but believe. And that's the rest of us now in the centuries. Believers shed many a tear. We contemplate the passion and death of our Saviour. That's a little story. And that's what you do when you contemplate the stations of the cross and so on and so forth. And this sorrowful mysteries. Bye now, and enjoy the rest of your day. We'll be singing a couple of hymns this evening, and maybe a little song after that. Bye now.